The LA Wakers are coming off of a win last week, and we are now number 3 in the standings. But this week we are taking on D.Rey, coach of the SoCal Annihilation, and his team is a threat. His Terra Captain Annihilape can terrestrialize into a ghost or a water type. He has the incredibly powerful Chi-Yu, a Grimmsnarl that can set up Light Screen and Reflect for all of his setup Pokemon, which include Dragon Dance Haxorus and Swords Dance Lycanroc Dusk form, and some fantastic defensive Pokemon in Blissey, Orthworm, and Donphan. So this week we are going on the offense. So the first Pokemon I'll be bringing is a Focus Sash Lead Espathra. The combination of Terra Blast Fighting and Lumina Crash are unguardable. A Focus Sash allows me to beat Scarf Chi-Yu 1v1 and even severely dent Annihilape. It would also be absolutely hilarious if my opponent led with Final Gambit Annihilape, giving up his biggest threat turn 1, since I would survive on my Focus Sash. Protect ensures speed boost, and Calm Mind gives me the ability to sweep later if necessary. With a Timid Nature 216 speed EVs, I outspeed max speed Chi-Yu, I wanted max special attack, and the leftover EVs were put into defense. The only Pokemon I'll be switching out Espathra versus is Grimmsnarl, so that's where Iron Treads comes into play. This week we are bringing Boost Energy to guarantee outspeed Choice Scarf Chi-Yu or a +1 Haxorus. We have Earthquake, Body Press, Iron Defense, and Rapid Spin. 208 speed EVs with a Jolly Nature allow me to outspeed Chi-Yu. The idea behind Iron Defense and Body Press allows me to muscle through Pokemon like Donphan, Chi-Yu, Orthworm, and Electros, even if my opponent has used Parting Shot, so my defense won't be lowered. That's where the 212 defense EVs come into play. They allow me to 2-hit KO max HP Electros after an Iron Defense boost, as well as Orthworm. The 80 attack EVs allow me to guarantee 3-hit KO max HP Annihilape, so it cannot come in for free on Earthquake. And the 8 special defense allows me to take a modest Flamethrower from Electros after Spike. Of course, Iron Treads is my anti-hazards measure. If my opponent decides to bring Terra Water Annihilape to deal with my potential Palafin, then I can get a free Rapid Spin. And if they do end up turning into a water type, Meowscarada can now hit it for super effective damage. This week we are using Protean Meowscarada with Flower Trick, Aura Sphere, Spikes, and Taunt. I went with Chople Berry, that way I can guarantee get 1 spike up on something like Orthworm or even Annihilape if I need to. With 80 special attack EVs and Naive Nature, Aura Sphere will always 2-hit KO Orthworm, whether I'm a fighting type or not. And if I am a fighting type while using Aura Sphere, it'll do over 70%. 152 speed EVs allow me to outspeed their Lycanroc Dusk, and the combination of 56 HP and 48 defense allows me to take 1 Adamant Choice Band Barraskewda's Close Combat, a Jolly Max Attack Scarf Annihilape's Close Combat, and Adamant Max Attack Ice Spinner from Donphan. The leftover 172 EVs were put into attack for maximum damage. Taunt allows me to stop Haxorus from clicking Dragon Dance, Quillfish from clicking Spikes or Toxic Spikes, and just setup in general. Spike is very important for my game plan because my Palafin does insane damage with it. Mixed Palafin goes crazy versus my opponent's team. With Naughty Nature 224 attack EVs and 224 special attack EVs, I can Jet Punch into Quillfish with Spike up and knock it out with Boom Burst right after. Boom Burst also has a 25% chance to knock out Haxorus after a Spike, but with Jet Punch it's a guaranteed KO. And of course Jet Punch allows me to check Chi-Yu as well as Lycanroc Dusk. 28 speed EVs allow me to outspeed max speed Grimmsnarl so it can't get up a Reflect before I attack. And if Annihilape tries to speed creep a timid max speed Sylveon, I'm faster than that as well. Surf allows me to 2-hit KO Orthworm, as well as Assault Vest Donphan after Spikes. Wave Crash is a nuke. It can knock out max HP Annihilape from full, and if they terrestrialize water, I can 2-hit KO. It also gives me a hard hit versus max defense Electros, something I expect my opponent to bring just because my Iron Treads is such a threat. The HP EVs are a Life Orb number. Of course, Dual Screens Grimmsnarl is very threatening, so Tauros Paldia Blaze has to come once again, since Raging Bull can break screens. Its dual typing resists both Dark Pulse and Flamethrower from Chi-Yu, and the Payapa Berry allows me to take Psychic as well. I went with Max Speed Jolly since this is one of my Chi-Yu answers. I want to at worst Speed Tie, and I can knock it out with Close Combat, even if it has HP EVs. 240 special defense EVs and 16 HP EVs allow me to take 2 modest Flamethrowers from Chi-Yu after Stealth Rock. I can use Endeavor to weaken Annihilape if it does terrestrialize water, and if not, I can burn it with Will-O-Wisp, making it much less of a threat, even if I do end up giving it a Defiant boost from Intimidate. Lastly, Hawlucha looked incredible here. With Limber, Quillfish and Grimmsnarl cannot Thunder Wave it. With Rocky Helmet, I can help wear down Annihilape as well as Donphan if it tries to Rapid Spin, breaking it sturdy, and the combination of Brave Bird and Close Combat destroys my opponent's team. Bulk Up allows me to go toe-to-toe with Annihilape, unless it goes for Encore, and Roost gives me longevity. With Jolly 192 speed EVs, I outspeed Lycanroc. The 144 HP EVs and 116 defense EVs allow me to outpace an Annihilape even if it's Terra Ghost at 100 base power with Rage Fist. What I mean is I can bulk up Roost Rocky Helmet stall it. And the 56 attack EVs allow me to 3 KO Annihilate with Brave Bird after leftovers recovery, as well as knock out Chi-Yu. It's a fantastic late game cleaner. So that's my team for week 6 of the BBR. If you are enjoying the Draft League battles, make sure you subscribe, as these go up every Sunday, and I upload competitive Pokemon every single day. And also a big shout out to Dylan, Zazo, MV, Tone, and Chimpack for helping me this week, and make sure you check out D.Rey as well. His link is down below. None of this would have been possible without him, as he's the Draft League owner. Without further ado, let's get right into the battle. Alright, so here we are with my battle versus D.Rey. The first thing I notice is he did not bring Grimmsnarl. Wow. Okay, I'm actually really curious to see how he's going to respond to my lead Espathra then. So I'm just going to write his team, Chi-Yu. Make sure you subscribe to him. And also, if you like Draft League content, I'm uploading this every single Sunday as of right now. So go ahead and subscribe. Upload competitive Pokemon every single day. All right, we got the Electros. There's the Annihilape. There is the Lycanroc. And, of course, the Dawn. Big Dawn fan. So the way my team works is I'm supposed to lead off with Espathra, as I said in the team builder, and I'm Focus Sash, so I kind of just attack what is in front of me with it. Just getting as much damage off as possible and going from there. Also, if you guys didn't know, right now my Draco Shaker is available, and code AIM30 for this weekend is 30% off. So you can pick it off, 30% off. If you want to pick up anything Advanced QG, it's also a caffeinated energy drink, so 18+. But the link is down below if you want to support me and just pick up my Draco Shaker anyway. Alright, so let me lead off with my Focus Sash Espathra. My Taunt, Meowscarada looks really good. Obviously, I am loving my my Booster Energy Mon here too. I think it's pretty sick as well. No screen is just really nice. So let's see how this goes. Subscribe to D.Rey, sub to me, and let's get right into it. I wonder what music the game picked, because I put it on random this time. But if it's Chi-Yu, depending on what lead it is, I'm just attacking it. The idea behind this team is that we take advantage of the fact that my opponent doesn't really have good switch-ins to Fighting plus Psychic, because not a lot of Pokemon can switch into that moves anyway. So, unless your name's like Spiritomb and Sableye and stuff. So, Bananas is the Annihilape. I'm going to immediately Terra. And I think I just Lumina Crash here. If it's Scarf Bananas, I'm okay with that. Like, basically, if this is Scarf, it's a lot less of a threat versus me. He can only be two Terra types, right? Either Ghost or Water. I would have easily clicked Terra Blast, but obviously, though Chi-Yu is a problem, I don't want to try and predict this thing to be a Scarf Annihilate versus me, though it could be because it's Lead Annihilate, right? Let's see. They end up Terastallizing turn 1. Alright, what Terra is there? Well, we Terra'd as well turn 1. So they are Terra Ghost. Okay, Ghost Terra, which means they do not resist the water. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, I'm going to hit them once, so that's going to be a 100 base power, right? So 100 BP. That's a crit. He's Assault Vest. 100 BP Rage Fist. That's 100 BP Rage Fist. I'm going to live this hit no matter what. Knowing that they're Assault Vest and they can't set up is actually incredible. It's absolutely incredible for me. That nasty, nasty crit, though. Very nasty to start off. So, wait, is that just max special defense taking that little? Seriously? Oh my god. Annihilape is insane. Annihilape is insane to take that little. What? God, 20 to 24 is insane. Anyway, that's not AV. I actually just got a crit on that thing. So I'm going to be doing 40 to 60. Yeah, I'll go for it. I don't see a reason not to click Lumina Crash again. I get the damage off on Ape. I'll give them 150 base power if they stay in on Rage Fist, which is definitely scary. But we know that they're max special defense. Like, that is literally max special defense. That is not going to be faster than my Palafin once I get it activated. So I will gladly take that right now. And we should be able to get some spikes as well going in. So get a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful secondary hit off on them, which we will absolutely take. And they Drain Punch there, so we know that they're 150 base power Rage Fist. I want to write that down real quick. I will gladly take that trade. As I mentioned, that is a giant threat to my team, and I want to be smart versus it, right? So, in terms of how I want to deal with this, I'm fairly confident my my baby Palafin's faster, but I don't want to obviously risk that right now. And my Palafin goes absolutely insane. So what I want to do, I think, is I want to bring out my Meowscarada. I think Meowscarada makes the most sense. We know this is 150 base power. They could be rest on this, but they're leftovers, so I think they're more likely to be taunt than rest on this set. Flower Trick does 40 to 48%. It's always going to crit. We'll be going for said Flower Trick right now. If they want to give me this Pokemon, I'll gladly take it. I don't mind giving up a Espatha for that, because again, like, my endgame plan is going to be with Palafin. My endgame plan is going to be with Palafin. So I could see them going out to Chi-Yu, but damage on that is really good too. Obviously, Electros is something that could come out as well. There's the Redfish, which sounds like Chi-Yu. Sounds just like Chi-Yu coming right in. There's the Redfish. Damage on this is really nice. Damage on Ape, so it dies to Earthquake, is really, really good too. That did absolutely nothing to Chi-Yu. Let me see. It's leftovers Chi-Yu. Orsphere is not Protean. Do I want to risk getting up the Spike? It's lefties. Lefties. My Tauros can live 2 hits, and I think that's my main switching now. I do threaten them with obviously a close combat from there. And a Raging Bull. I have a Payapa Berry, so if they go for Psychic, I'm in a good spot anyway to eat that hit. And we'll kind of be able to figure out what type of Chi-Yu this is. Because it's leftovers, I did nothing. That's basically... That's like almost max HP. If not max HP and some defense EVs. But we go Tauros. We'll be able to live every hit. No matter what. Even if they predict me, which would be a great play, we still live every hit. So there's a Psychic right into my Tauros switching. Very good play. But we do eat our Payapa Berry. Nice. So we have the Payapa Berry. We know they have Psychic. Chi-Yu. Psychic. I'm going to double out now into my Centaur just because I want to get up a Spike. I want to... Basically, I don't think they should stay in and risk me hitting them with CC. I think they should do one of two things. Quillfish makes the most sense to me, but also... it just doesn't make sense. Why would you want to throw this away? Like, you have Quillfish as a free switch. So I'm going to make that prediction, and then I'll go for Taunt on Quillfish. Bluefish is Quillfish. I'm pretty sure Bluefish is Quillfish. I can taunt them, and then we can get up one Spike, which is what we need to start smacking them with Palafin. So I'm going to taunt. I'll be pure Dark type, so they can't hit me with super effective damage. I do get to taunt off on the, the Chi-Yu coming in. That's Redfish again. Do I want to get my Spike up now? Because I really, really, really want to Spike up. I really, really, really want to Spike up, man. Me being pure Dark, they could definitely click Flamethrower on me as well. I'm assuming they scouted for Leaf Storm too. Okay. Do I do it? I kind of want to. I think I'm going to go for Spike here. Depending on what they go for, they may end up doubling. I think Chi-Yu's going to end up attacking me, to be honest. But I want the Spike up because I think that's going to be what Palafin needs to win this game. So I'd much rather get up a Spike and threaten them and then go from there. Because they end up going for Fire Blast. This should knock me out no matter what, right? Yeah. So Chi-Yu knocks me out with Fire Blast. Fire Blast. Perfect. Iron Treads on Chi-Yu. If it's max HP, I still can kill it. I think this is where we start taking advantage of my Booster Energy Mon here. And my Booster Energy Mon can knock them out with Earthquake. And I can kind of just go from basically a Palafin endgame, which is exactly what I'm going for. Palafin just goes crazy. So I'm going to... They do have Electros. I'm going to Iron Defense up. I don't think you should stay in at all. I think you'll either go Donphan or Electros. Ideally, it's Donphan first. Ricktross sounds like Electros. That's a great name. All right. Ricktross sounds like Electros. I get my Iron Defense up, which is perfect. I get my Iron Defense up, and this is going to do a lot to Electros. Body Press at +2. If they're max HP, they get 2 KO'd right here. So I'm going to go for the Body Press. They cannot kill me back.
Oh, they are physically defensive, dude. And they Dragon Tail me out. Ideally, it's Palafin. I'm okay with the Dragon Tail because, I mean, my Ivory is faster than everything on their team. But they're like max defense to take that little. They're like max defense, max HP. So they unfortunately bring out that thing. Yeah, they're like literally max defense, max HP with leftovers. They could be a bulk up set. I could see them drain punching. They have Dragon Tail. I want to say that they're that endgame set. Because, again, with the hazards up, I feel like I'm really, really strong with Palafin. But I have to get it in. I'm going to scout for them being a physical variant. With, like, Coil. And I'm going to see if I can get in my Raging Bull here on Intimidate. This might be a little bit of a misplay, but at least does let me get Palafin in after. Because if you're max defense, max HP, they might end up being a Thunder Punch set. They do end up going for Discharge, which doesn't knock me out. Don't get paralyzed. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. That's kind of annoying. Because I could have went for the Endeavor. I'm still faster than them, though, so ideally I get off the Endeavor here. Please. Please. Let me get off this Endeavor. Whether it be on Quillfish, whether it be on this. I don't care. If Ape wants to come out, that's a great play. But that pair is so annoying. Let's see. Do they make the 8 play? They bring out Bluefish, which is Quillfish. I'm okay with that. I am definitely okay with that. Please let me get this off. That way I don't have to deal with Quillfish at all. I do get off the Endeavor on Quillfish, which is awesome. It actually takes me out with Rocky Helmet as well, which is really, really big. That's a really, really, really big takedown there. So what I can do is actually bring out my Palafin now. Because Palafin just goes absolutely stupid in this game. And what I'm going to do is double to Ivory. The reason I'm doubling to Ivory is because I don't want to get Thunder Wave, Toxic. If they go out to Electros, that's fine too. I just basically want to get my homie activated because this is my guy. This is my guy that wins this game. Even when I'm down this low, this is my guy that wins this game. So I end up going for Spike, which is okay. I can easily knock them out with a Rapid Spin. If they go out to Annihilate, I can go for Earthquake from there too. So we're going to Rapid Spin here. If they go out to Donphan, then they let me break it Sturdy, which is exactly what I want in order to win this game. Palafin is insane. Palafin is insanely strong. But yeah, Rapid Spin does end up breaking that. If they do end up bringing out the EO, I'm okay with that too. Because I can knock it out after. I want them to go Donphan really badly, man. Donphan would be great. They go out to the Electros, which is fine too. So we keep the Spike up, which is nice. And we get some damage off on Electros here. So if Electros has no bulk on me. Flamethrower to my Iron Treads. We'll do 38 to 44%. I'm going to Iron Defense up into Body Press. I'm going to Iron Defense up into Body Press. Because Quillfish dies to Spike, so I don't have to worry about that. They cannot kill me with Flamethrower because we know that they... Actually, that's the wrong nature, but... Flamethrower is 42 to 49%, so they can't kill me. And there's, they actually can't even 2-hit KO me with it, because 160 is the max it can do. Assuming they're the max defense max, which is exactly what I think they are. So, let me see this. If they want to Dragon Tail me out on the Palafin, that's fine. I'll get my kill immediately. Alright, they end up U-turning there. This is perfect. Literally perfect. I don't think they can touch this Pokemon. And with the Iron Defense boost, this thing beats Ape, beats Quillfish, and all I need is, the only condition I need to win this game, guys, is literally Donphan gone. So I will gladly take this thing down to Spike. Perfect. So Meowscarada kills Quillfish. Didn't pay attention to the rest. Kills Quillfish. And that's amazing because they don't get that sack anymore either. So they're basically forced to go Donphan now. Oh, okay. They go out to Ricktross. Okay, I'll take it. That's fine too. That's fine too. Body Press. I don't think they can touch me. I don't know if they can touch me. And Dragon Tail can miss as well. So, like, I have a lot that's going on for me right now. This is going to do half. This is going to 2-hit KO. Like, legitimately. This will legit 2-hit KO. And I have Earthquake to always knock out Annihilate. It's already in range. I have Attack Investment too. Basically, the only condition I need met is Donphan's Sturdy being broken. And that might even happen if it's not running heavy-duty boots. This is like what I'm talking about, basically. Its condition not being met. So I get a ton of damage off from that. They Flamethrower me, which does not kill me. Don't burn me, don't burn me, don't burn me, don't burn me, don't burn me. Bro, that is an unfortunate burn. That is a very unfortunate burn. Because it would allow me, if they didn't burn me there, it allows me to break Donphan's Sturdy. Because unfortunately, burn does affect the damage output of even iron defense boosted moves like Body Press. This should still kill though. So we'll take this kill right here. There's no way Annihilate is rushed either. But we'll definitely take this kill. Ah, that burn sucks. I don't know why I felt that burn was happening, but damn, that burn sucks. No worries, no worries. We get this kill right here on them. We don't actually pick up the kill here, which is pretty nasty. But they end up U-turning, which is great, because even if they go ape, they don't get any more recovery. So I'm okay with that. I am definitely okay with that. I'm going to save this thing as a sack as well for later. I don't think they're rest on ape with leftovers. I think they would be taunt on ape with leftovers or encore. Silver Fang is you. So we broke its sash, which is amazing. Potentially sash. Hawlucha goes crazy, by the way. Hawlucha literally wins from this position. There's nothing that stops that, actually. So we're just going to go for Body Press here. Actually, yeah, Hawlucha just straight up wins with Electros being gone. Like, it might look like Palafin can win too, but it looks like Hawlucha's better. Oh, and I'm faster than this thing as well? Hell yeah. Because I Rapid Spin. What am I saying? I know I'm faster than it. Hell yeah. Okay. I mean, we absolutely take those. I hope they're Life Orb. They were. Perfect. I don't even have to worry about this thing. Let's go. All right, we should win this in theory. Because Palafin just comes out and nabs its kill. Assuming Chi-Yu. Assuming Hawlucha, I'm assuming max HP Chi-Yu, right? Chi-Yu, Lucha, if it's max HP, 97 to 115. If it's max HP, max defense, that's just worst case scenario, 75 to 88. But Palafin's for sure my play. Oh, and if that Donphan, oh my god, if that Donphan Sturdy is broken, guys, oh my god. Actually, there's zero reason for me to say I switch out Palafin if they go Donphan. I always switch out Palafin if they go Donphan because I get the Rocky Helmet kill, and then I win the game late game with Palafin. So, yeah. Basically, depending on what comes out now, and if this thing doesn't take Stealth Rock, in order to win the game for sure, if it doesn't take Stealth Rock, as in Spike, excuse me. Let's see if it's heavy duty boots. It is. Okay. So we go Lucha. I'm Rocky Helmet. They Earthquake or they Endeavor. Either way, they bust their Sturdy. And then, because all they have left is Chi-Yu, Donphan, which was busted Sturdy, because we know it's boots, so it's 100% going to bust a Sturdy. Oh, I wish I had Flip Turn here. I wish I had Flip Turn from this position, man. I really do. They would have done it. Flip Turn would have done it. But yeah, I'm assuming they might be an Endeavor type of set. So I want to go out into Hawlucha just because the second they touch me, they take the Rocky Helmet damage. Then Palafin comes in and Jet Punch. So let's see. No Flip Turn from my part, obviously. I know I don't have Flip Turn. And this is only just in case random Chi-Yu has some crazy set. So there's Earthquake. Perfect. I always bulk up here because it does not matter if I get crit. I win the game with Surf into Jet Punch, Jet Punch. Basically, the second they touch me, I win. And because of bulk up, because I know I'm faster than Chi-Yu, it's a guaranteed kill on Chi-Yu. It is a guaranteed kill on Chi-Yu. All I gotta do is click Brave Bird right here. And guys, I believe if we win this game, we are 100% into playoffs. I believe if we win this game, we're 100% into playoffs. Like because it's an 8-week season and it's 8 players out of 12 that make it to playoffs. So this would make us 4-2, assuming we win this game. I'm not going to close combat for no reason, because Braver definitely kills. This will make us 4-2, and then we. Oh, I forgot they still have Ape alive. But Ape doesn't matter at all. That dude gets smashed. Everything gets smashed by Lucha, I think, in the end game here. Literally everything. And then Jet Punch kills everything anyway, so it doesn't matter. Even without the crit turn 1. Guys, do you want to know the damage calc from Life Orb Palafin to max HP? If you didn't listen to the team builder. Life Orb Palafin to max HP Ape does 91 to 107%. And because of the damage that, because of the, what's it called? Because of the damage that we did with Lumina Crash, it's never going to come down to that. I'm pretty sure Hawlucha just wins. But because of the damage that we did to Lumina Crash, it's just, it's max special defense. Like, it's damn near max special defense. That dude has, like, no defense. It doesn't matter. Either way, I'm pretty sure my homie right now just gets the win. Because it doesn't matter if Donphan comes out, does whatever it wants. I just hit it. I literally just hit it with Brave Bird. If it wants to rapid spin on me, that doesn't matter either. I have Brave Bird to knock out Annihilate. And from there, I think it's game. I really do. So Bulk Up, Lucha is such a good... Man, that spike, man. That spike really makes a difference. Yeah, so Donphan comes out. We just Brave Bird. If they're Earthquake, Rapid Spin, Ice Shard, then they basically never win anyway. Like, if they're Earthquake, Rapid Spin, Ice Shard, they never win. Because, first off, I get to roost on them. Also, I have a lot of defense investment on this dude. The Ice Shard. 144. Yeah, that did 0. 144, 116 defense. I'm assuming they're Endeavor on this set, man. I'm literally assuming they're Endeavor on this set. Wow, that did a good chunk. Donphan did a nice good chunk. I can roost on Earthquake. If they want to Ice Shard again, I'm fine. If they do Ice Shard again. Basically, I want to have Palafin as the last Pokemon in. If, like, I am quote-unquote risking a crit, but I want Palafin as the last Pokemon in because they lose to it. So, I could have technically went for the roll right there if I really, really, really wanted to, but I don't have to. Anyway, we just bulk up right here. They can't do anything. Maybe they try and go for Earthquake, calling my roost. He loses anyway to this guy. Yeah, he goes for Rapid Spin. Still not faster than me. Actually, all Rapid Spin did was put him in range of my next hit. That's all Rapid Spin did. Though I guess technically right now, if he gets a crit, if he does get the crit with Ice Shard right now, Rapid Spin was a GOAT play. He didn't get it though, so he loses. But if he did get the crit right there, there's 0 way Annihilate takes it. So, what's it called? So, wow. That was nice, man. Freaking Hawlucha KO's Donphan, KO's Electros, KO's Chiyu, and it's about to KO Annihilate too. Because, man, this Mon was really good late game. This Mon was really good. Like, oh, dude. You guys want to know how much... You guys want to know how much Life Orb Jet Punch did, even though I didn't even get to do it to this guy? I didn't realize how... Like, I saw how low it was, but... Dude, Jet Punch does 45 to 54%. That dude could get 17 turns of leftovers right now and still not live. But yeah, Hawlucha's going to pick him off, and it was the better fighting type in this one. Definitely had me on my toes for sure in the beginning, but remember, my game plan, as always, as I said in the team builder, was get up that spike and then set up for Hawlucha, Palafin, endgame. Hawlucha was supposed to bulk up alongside Annihilate, obviously. But yeah, that's about it, guys. So we're going to leave it at that. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Make sure you go ahead and check out D.Rey's side. I believe now that we are 4-2, it is playoffs guaranteed. It is playoffs guaranteed. We still have Kirby to fight, which I have to fight him on Monday, and then I have to fight John Jr. on Friday, and I'm playing this game on Thursday night, so I got a lot to do back-to-back because they want everything to be in the season. But I'm happy that your boy won, man. I'm happy that your boy won. And, yeah, it might not have looked that pretty. It definitely might not have looked that pretty. Well, big shout out to Tauros, too, man, when paralyzed. I actually got paralyzed with my Tauros when I was testing with Envy, and I wasn't able to get off an Endeavor in that one, but I'm really glad that that didn't happen in a mock. But like I said as well, guys, if you want to pick up my my Draco Shaker, anything from Advanced GG, if you want to just try it out, now's really the time, because if you use code AIM30 from now until like Tuesday, basically morning, you can get 30% off anything of your order, and you support me, man. You get like $5 off your order, off your Draco Shaker. That's nice. But yeah, I'm going to talk to D.Rey if he wants to do an interview, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. All right, guys, I'm here with D.Rey in the post-game interview. Say hi to the people, bro.
What's going on, beautiful people? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys enjoyed. Oh my gosh, I'm still coming down from it.
Yo, bro, I gotta ask you, man. So why no Grimmsnarl?
So, you of all people, since you've been blessing us with doing these streams, have hyped up and said, why have you not brought Bulk Up Screens Grimmsnarl? So I knew full well you're just gonna prepare for it.
Yeah.
And plus, being able to just get rid of screens with Raging Bull, it just made zero sense to bring it this matchup. I kind of talked to you about it a little bit in the beginning. Ape kind of had just one goal here. On matchup, Espathra kind of rips me upside down. So I figured either A, we try our best multi-mon to deal with the lead Espathra and lose assets and then end up losing to Palafin at the end, or we just give up Ape and go 1v1 and then go from there. So that way Palafin at least doesn't just run away with the game.
Yeah, my what's it called? Oh shoot, I just realized. Damn, I could have set up on your Quillfish with my Hawlucha too. So my game plan was lead. Big shout to Zaza as well. But my game plan was basically focus Sash Espathra immediately, no matter what you have in front of me, as long as it's not Grimmsnarl, immediately Terra Blast and click immediately Terra and click Terra Blast. Obviously, in the event of Annihilate, I'm like, oh my god, please be Final Gambit. In my head, when I see it, I was like, please be Final Gambit. Like I was really hoping going into this battle, I was like, yo, I hope he brings Blissey plus Annihilate and just the copycat strat and just loses Annihilate turn 1 and then the game just becomes, I'm going to click Jet Punch 17 times. Because as you can see by my Palafin, I'm mixed. So I got Jet Punch, Boom Burst, Wave Crash, and Surf. Originally I had Close Combat over Wave Crash, but I was never clicking it. So I was like, Wave Crash is cool because it will do like 10 million % to like max defense Electros, which is something that people brought versus me in testing as well. And then Boom Burst, smashes Quillfish with Spike Up into Jet Punch or... Yeah.
The Palafin was nuts. Just in general, being able to run mix like that, Palafin's such a good fucking Pokemon. I had it last season. I wasn't able to really do much with it because it was my Terra captain. So I just was pigeonholed for the most matchups of that mentality of just running, banded jet punches with Terra Water. But if you really look at it, and you dissect it and build with it right, and you pilot it correctly, there's just so much you can do. It's got a really respectable special attack. So
Boom
Burst needs a whole bunch of sense.
Dude is so nice. Yeah, because Boom Burst, 75% chance to knock out Haxorus after Spike. But obviously guaranteed with Jet Punch type of thing. So it was like the biggest problem in this game was because or even in my game plan was because I knew I always was leading Espathra. I couldn't lead Palafin to get it activated immediately, right? So I couldn't because I ran a more offensive build this week, right? My Iron Treasures, Booster Energy, but it was defense, but that was my offense. With Booster Energy, Iron Defense, Body Press, had attack investment to smash Ape with Spike Up, sometimes I can 2 a KO with Spike Up. Other times I just do too much where you don't get enough back with Drain Punch to outlive me, basically. And unless you're running like Resto Chestoape, which is easier for me to deal with just because you have no leftovers recovery, we'd be good there too. And then... Oh, go ahead.
It was the whole your game plan with Tauros really tossed me off, and honestly Hawlucha was the biggest wild card because we didn't prep once for Hawlucha. I didn't see it much. I couldn't see it coming. I understood that it outspeed the entire team, but just given the fact that it isn't really that strong, it's better as a pivot. But the setup bulk up was fantastic. As soon as you bulked up, I was like because I sat there in the video, I was like, all right, how do we bring this back? I totally tossed, but how do I bring this back? And you bulked up once, and I was like, well, there she goes. She's the singing.
Yeah, basically, had you not burnt me with Flamethrower, I was like, okay, cool. This should be guaranteed over now because Donphan has to break it sturdy, right? It has to break it sturdy in order to knock me out, and then I just go Palafin and just start clicking Jet Punch, and that was basically go from there. But
on my side, for Electros, had one job: do not let what you brought. So you brought the Iron Defense set, what I saw in Mox also. So that's why I had Dragon Tail. I thought to myself, listen, Electros, your job is to not let the treads run away with it. In Mox, I actually prepped for Occaberry because Flamethrower just does so much damage and always 2 its KOs unless you're super Spadef. And if that's the case, then Lycanroc can come in and clean it up. So in the game, I was like, okay, cool. How do I not toss this game? And then at that point, I was like, okay, I can Flamethrower and kill this thing, or I could just bring in Lycanroc and put on immense pressure. So when I U-turned, I totally was so into the game and I forgot you rapid spun.
Hey bro, you're not the only one. You're not the only one who forgot he rapid spun. You're not the only one who forgot he rapid spun. When you're in
I was like, wait, you used your booster energy. What just happened? I swear I saw it was speed, but it's gone. And I looked at the camera and I looked back and I was like, oh, he rapid spun. And then, oh man, my heart just sunk to my stomach.
No, it was bro. I mean, looking at this matchup, like looking at what you brought, even this Quillfish 100% loses to my Lucha, right? Like, so had it eventually came to that situation, obviously I could have bulked up from there. I like the sub Chi-Yu, but I understand going right for Psychic because that was my only switching. So had I not been Pyapa Berry, you would have cooked me, right? You would have cooked me.
Yeah, I like when you switched in, my hands went up in the air. I was like, we're in it. We're in his head, like rent free, and it was like gonna go down.
Nah, and then I charge you some rent. Yeah, then I charge you. I charge you that Connecticut tax, bro. That I just had to pay. I charged on the way out. Yeah, but like, so I had choices, right? I mean, you see my mascot on the team builder. It's Protean this week with Aurasphere because Aurasphere, even if I'm not Protean, will 2-hit KO Orthworm.
Fish.
Yeah, fish and 2 KOs fish as well, but it 2-hit KOs Orthworm too, which was the big thing. Initially, I had U-turn over Taunt, but I like Taunt better because it stops Quillfish because it's not 100% likely that you'll run Poison Move versus me, right? Because I think T-Spikes or Toxic are more likely because if I'm sub Bulk Up Palafin or even Haze, like you can't really do much. I like the Endure Tech. The Endure Tech to weaken it for like Dawn Fanner or something or Ape range is pretty cool. I didn't even know it learned Endure, so that's really I love that. I love that on Tank Chomp, so it's cool to see that on this.
On Fish, yeah. Quillfish was huge. The Endeavor really kind of set it up. Like I still had outs. The game plan was really simple. It was just don't let Espathra run away with the game, and that way Palafin doesn't just simply clean up. And I thought to myself, as Eel can just keep the Iron Shreds low, then Lycanroc is fine. But ultimately, the Palafin in the back was literally the biggest thing. I thought to myself, I know Topuki, he's gonna keep this thing in the back to win. He's not gonna set up with it. It's not very good banded. Life Orb is great, but it's not very good banded here. It has to switch moves. And so when you switched off Rip, I was like, dang, he's banded. So that's what I was worried about the most because he's just gonna click Jet Punch and win the game. Yeah. So Donphan being heavy duty boots, the plan was, and I totally tossed it out the window from tilt because I needed Lycanroc. So I wanted to bring Donphan in with boots, get an Earthquake off, and always be able to kill you with Excel Rock after that. Yeah. And at that point, either Earthquake into Ice Shard into Excel Rock will knock him out, especially if you click Wave Crash. So I was like, damn, now that I'm at this point, I'm kind of on the back end. And when basically the Electros was supposed to just keep it down and it did what it was supposed to do. Now, the biggest thing that kind of tossed me off on the game plan was the Endeavor. The Endeavor threw everything off.
Bro, I was praying.
Quillfish so low. Yeah. I no longer could switch into Palafin. I can't switch into Tauros off Rip. And then the Hawlucha now is a problem. I was like, oh no, this is bad.
Yeah, no, that was really big too. And like when I would hard Iron Treads on Quillfish because I'm like, you're not going to Thunder Wave anything and I'm going to spin. Because my thought was, if you go Ape, I'll just kill you with Earthquake right after. Right? Like Ape died at that point. So I'll take that and then I can spin always. Because the only mon that's faster than me is Lycanroc, which is obviously a threat. But I still have Lucha in the back, which is faster. It can throw in it with close combat too. So, again, the reason I switched out is because I was fearing the sturdy Endeavor set. And then if you went for Endeavor there, I'm like, okay, he touches me and he takes Rocky Helmet and I win, right? Because Palafin just wins. Yeah. There's nothing to worry about. So that was what I was going for in the in game. And actually, like this specific EO is, like I said, why I changed close combat, or actually it was Drain Punch. Why I changed Drain Punch to Wave Crash at the end, just because I wanted the big hit. I had Surf for the 2-hit KO on Orthworm, with just in case you were like the Iron Defense set. Because, I mean, you could easily get up a spike in front of me and then go for damage from there if you wanted to. Because you could also be Choppo as well, since that would help check Tauros, that could help check Palafin, etc., Lucha in a pinch. So that's why Surf was there. Also, if you're AV Donphan after spike, I could knock you out with Surf without having to take Wave Crash Recall. So that's why I went for that sort of thing. Ape was like, I mean, we knew you were going to bring, I was really hoping, like I said, for the lead Ape that just dies. That was because I had one test. My first test, I lead Espathra, MV leads Ape, immediately dies, and then he has a Blissey with Copycat in the back. He just gets 6-0'd by Booster Energy, Iron Defense.
If I had $1 for every time someone told me to run that Choice Scarf Blissey set, oh my god, I'd be built it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's not bad because going down 4-4 when your opponent probably over prepped for Ape is pretty cool, especially because when you have giant threats like you still have Screens, you still have Haxorus, you still have Lycanroc, you still have Chi-Yu type of thing. But I mean, obviously in this situation, we were going to play Espathra in a way that it's just, this is my lead, I'm throwing it away because I want damage to set the condition for my end game.
Yeah.
I like
we
the
both
Lycanroc.
had the same thought for both of our Terra captains. Like both of us, like were super terrified of him. I was like, if I let Espathra run with this game too early, I just lose too many resources. So like we literally, almost in a way, both sacrifice our Terra just to ensure the other just doesn't run away with the game.
Dude, I got a crit on you turn 1, and I'm sitting here like, yo, this is supposed to do 20% to max. How does a crit look like it did? The crit did 20%. Like I didn't see any more. I mean, you have the ruler on yours.
This Pokemon is so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
I was like, yo, he's Assault Vest? Like, no, it's not. And I'm like,
and low-key, that little damage was really important because in the beginning I was actually Terra Water because I wanted another line of defense against Palafin just to get something going, even though like the Boom Burst deck was thought about, but I didn't think it would actually come. So being able to have a resist would be really nice, but it just didn't serve in the end. So in that little scenario where the Iron Treads would have killed Eel, and if you spun, I was gonna go hard Ape, where I can keep that spike
get
up and
another
you're
boost.
forced to either kill me.
Yeah.
But then that rapid spin really got me. It was all, that's basically it was the big turn of the game. I'd forgotten that speed boost was up, and at that point it was a wrap.
Yeah, Lycanroc taking so much to Life Orb. Yeah, I didn't expect it to die to Life Orb. I was like, yo, please be Life Orb, please be Life Orb. Nice, it's dead. Like, I mean, I know obviously Lucha was in the back and easy, and again, that's why I went.
The defense is beautiful. And now that I see your set, it doesn't make much difference now, like in the grand scheme of things. Now that you're kind of dissecting at the end of it, with this much defense investment, that's pretty crazy. Because either way, the game plan would not have turned out the same. Because you saw how much damage it did with Ice Shard. It would have been the same as that game plan. It would have been Ice Shard plus Excel Rock because I don't outspeed regardless, and I died to a close combat.
Yeah.
So I would have to find a way to get you at -1, even after a bulk up. You'd be neutral. I would, hope for crits or something like that.
Yeah, that was
this kind of investment. Yeah, then I wouldn't have been able to get down anyway.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking too. Like when I Brave Birdie, I was like, oh man, this is a roll. Like, I didn't realize you didn't have max HP, but I try to account. You got to account for like the worst case scenario, right? So I assumed you were max attack based on the Ice Shard damage, and I just assumed maybe it was max HP because my Brave Bird did about the roll of max HP. But looking at it, I guess I could have just Brave Birded twice. But I was like, if he crits me from this position, Palafin just gets all the kills. That's what I was saying to my viewers, dude. Envy paralyzed me with discharge on my Tauros, and then I got full parried on my Endeavor, and I was in the game. I'm like, yo, this happened to me in practice. Do not happen here. Do not happen here.
If only, yeah, I was, man, that was nuts. I got the para, and I was like, okay, I don't outspeed this thing, but being able to get these paras would be fantastic. And then if that happened there, the entire game switches.
Yeah,
if you don't get that Endeavor off, I still have Cool Fish, basically at full health, and I can at least switch in and get Intimidates off and get a spike. There were so many mocks. We ran, I think, 5 or 6 of them, and 4 out of the 5 or 6, it came down to having a spike up. And I told them, I was like, listen, I need to get this up, and it needs to stay up. So that's one of the biggest reasons we switched to Ghost Ape, because I had to be able to block spin. Because defog didn't look really good against this matchup, because if you defog in front of Ape, you get another boost. So I was actually super surprised you brought Lumina Crash too, just to get more, boost. But the focus hashtag was really nice. The moment that it got it off, and I was like, damn, I was hoping for that full pair, because then I have Cool Fish at full. I get a spike up at least in front of Iron Treads, and the entire game just flips on its head.
Yeah. So I mean, I brought Lumina Crash. I said, who cares if I give Ape a boost? Because if your water, Flower Trip is gonna smash you anyway, and if you're Ghost, let me introduce you to my friend Palafin, right? Because in my thought process, Ape can never be super speedy here unless it's like a Rocks lead, which I mean I'd be thankful for, or the final Gambit set, because you need the bulk to tank on literally a Espathra, right? Literally need the bulk for a Espathra. And if you go Terra Water, I mean, like I said, Masquerada goes crazy, but also, Terra Water Jet Punch does, Wave Crash does 54% to you still, right? Like I still 2-hit KO.
Crazy?
Yeah, I still 2-hit KO Life Orb. That's why I was like, yo, these calcs are insane. And I was kind of hoping that in a scenario where I had Palafin, you had Ape out at full, and I just kill you with Wave Crash just for the, just say this is the dominant Uber type of thing. But
I hyped that up in the beginning of the video. I was like, guys, if this isn't worth your ticket of admission, I don't understand what is. You got both these Terramons. Both of these are fantastic Pokemon. What a start. It's just such a theatrical performance in the very beginning.
Yeah, dude, when we both teared, I was like, this was so sick. I like the Dragon Tail tech on Electros. One set I fought was Coil, which I thought was really, really interesting. But then I had like Surf and Lumina Crash, so I wasn't that worried about it. But I felt like Coil, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch. I don't remember the last move because I ended up dying before.
Coil was a thought, and I actually had that first, but the problem is that it was dedicated to Iron Treads, and if we get to the Iron Defense bulk up Coil shenanigans, then I end up losing that matchup overall, because I just don't net out much health back from
because I'm +2 and you're +1.
You get +2 every single time. So in 3 turns you're at +6, and I got a +6 drain body
+3,
press, and
yeah,
my
yeah.
drain punch is doing like 13%.
Yeah,
and I'm
literally,
only getting
yeah. That was it as
It didn't
well.
end up. So I just want to just get rid of it for the first time. I saw the booster energy. I was like, awesome, this thing's no longer a problem. So like that's why my brain went off when you got that speed boost on rapid spin. I was like, hey, the booster's gone. Bet. So let's get Lycanroc in and put some really good pressure on it.
I'm telling you,
So
bro.
I
In
figured
mine, I did not remember either. Like, I mean, it didn't matter because I was stacking my dude anyway, who's burnt, and it did its job. It got rid of the spike. Right? I'm like, okay, Quillfish dies to spike. If Donphan wants to try and rapid spin on me, then it's gonna also take the damage, like from me, right? I'll get some body pressure chip, and that's the only thing that matters for Palafin to go crazy.
I got way too cheeky. Like the whole point that Yul was there was to dedicate itself to Iron Treads, and if I just clean Flamethrower, it dies. Yeah, I can sack it off the next play, but Hawlucha being here with this specific set kind of changes how my thought process was during the matchup. I thought I was like in the bag once I got rid of that Pokemon, so that way everything else is still relatively healthy.
Oh yeah, because it's like
my thought
6-4
process during
early,
that
right?
matchup- Yeah, it was like, oh, this is super easy because I'm like basically run away with this game. I still have my strat at the end game intact. This Hawlucha is gonna die to Ice Shard plus Excel Rock. I'm in the freaking bag, and I just let it go in that sense. And I was like, and at that point, it's just all Palafin show from then on. Exactly what I worried about. It was about to happen. There's no switching to Jet Punch at that point. I didn't really have an out against Hawlucha if it's set up. I thought on actual matchup it was like a support set, like a taunt, U-turn, get a pivot.
It was initially going to be Encore Brave Bird Roost U-turn, but in testing, I just like bulk up more because technically I could Encore you into your bulk ups and force you out, and that could get me a free Palafin. But I like the ability to sweep late game a lot more, And also one of my sets was close combat Encore U-turn Roost, so it was also no touch. Annihilate if Terra Ghost, and I was like, I didn't end up liking that because it didn't give me enough. It was good support either way, right? And obviously Lucha's really cool because Grimmsnarl can't Thunderwave it. Who cares if you Parting Shot if I have plus defense type of thing, and like I could bulk up to beat Spirit Break because in my opinion, right, if you bring Grimmsnarl and you bring dual screens, you have to run Light Screen Reflect and Spirit Break, right? I think those 3 have to be there. You need Spirit Break to beat Espathra because who cares if you can switch it on it, quote unquote, infinitely because you can't. You don't have recovery, right? And then your last move is a toss-up between Thunderwave, Parting Shot. I don't think Taunt is as good as what like Thunderwave could bring versus me, and also I don't think Parting Shot because like the only thing you have to fear about Parting Shot is my Dark type coming in.
My thought process is like Hawlucha with Limber. I think Taunt is really the only way you just auto don't lose to it because being able to just taunt it and then chew at least one hit and get off a Spirit Break will end up being limiting out more. So Taunt I probably would have put over Thunderwave, but I see the thought process here. The main reason I didn't see screens come in, mainly because number 1, the Tauros just simply clicks his main stab move and they break both of them. And number 2 is that Lumina Crash is such a broken move. Like,
it overwhelms it. Yeah.
Like it overwhelms it with just 2 hits. Like you get a screen up and it's technically like a +2 defense boost, and literally one Lumina Crash eliminates that. And it can still snowball, so it doesn't really help it in the long run, and it's tough to stay in even though it's immune to it. Overall, I have to keep Grimmsnarl in, and at that point, it's too weak to take on Hawlucha in the first place. So I figured I'd just sit on the bench, and that way we can just invest everything in the Donphan Green. But I just knew that you're gonna prep so hard for the screens. I figured like if he invests his assets to get rid of these screens, at least I could take advantage of it and try to go from the very beginning with 8.
Yeah, I mean, Tauros was a good bring regardless, right? Because the Endeavor was nice if you Terra Watered. The Will-O-Wisp was fine if you were a Ghost type. Because I figured, okay, if I don't see leftovers and he bulks up, he's Rest, right? Which is, I can beat that. Via depending on what set it is. If it's Ghost, I Willow. And then, obviously, with the Palpa Berry, it's supposed to be the tank a hit and die Pokemon, right? It did it twice in this game, right? Tanks a hit from Chiyu, I double out to Meowscarada. Tanks the hit from Electros, gets paralyzed, but luckily breaks through and gets the Endeavor off. That's what Tauros is supposed to do. Basically, break the screens and then tank a hit and potentially get off an Endeavor if possible on the opponent. But that was kind of like my main thing versus screens, because a lot of your team, a lot of my mocks, your Ape could obviously have Encore, but obviously I could have Encore too. And then Rest was something I fought a lot as well. So like my Lucha I have like the math done and everything. Like my Lucha beats 100 base power Ape Terra Ghost, right? Unless it has literally Encore, literally. Because unless I get crit, I just bulk up alongside it. I Roost, bring you down, and then I can Brave Bird you. Because even if you Drain Punch, because even if you Drain Punch on my Roost, you're getting net 10%. Because you're doing about 30 something percent for +6/+6.
So fun fact, Encore isn't actually there for Hawlucha, although that does apply really, really well. And it wasn't a thought, but it definitely works. But fun fact, the reason Encore is there is because the check that was brought for Ape was Knuckle Stack, little stack boy.
Oh, the
little stack boy.
Oh,
yeah,
with iron defense.
Ape was gonna get too tired out from his spot throw and gonna get weakened. And when Knuckle Stack comes in, it just says iron defense, and then the same problem happens. And with Salt Cure, it just gets weakened way too fast. And at that point, I also have to get rid of that Pokemon.
I'm very happy you respected that, Mon, dude. Because that and Miss Magish are the only two Pokemon that come off the bench. And every week that I talk with my people, I'm like, we're bringing Nachi. We're bringing little Nachi right now. Also, I like the way you said the story. Like, he's going to get too tired from fighting, so Nachi's going to suck you.
He's getting too exhausted. He just can't do it anymore after beating a spot there, like straight up from the anime. Yeah, dude. It was nuts. I figured if I can encore it after all these iron defense boosts, I can get my bulk zip off, and I'm just at the point where I can either recover all the health that I got back from Espathra and just eliminate 2 Pokemon in one, or just not have that worry, because that was your rock setter when those mocks was the next set.
That's actually super fair too, because it's a Chi-Yu check as well.
Yep, because it can switch in. It gets overwhelmed after a couple of dark pulses, but that wasn't his main check. It comes in on Ape, so that way it's able to bulk up if it can, and then if it can't come into Chi-Yu, it can chew the fire moves, and it has to dark pulse every single time. It gets overwhelmed if you ended up playing it incorrectly, like you come in on a dark pulse and then you switch out, and then it basically 2 KO.
Yeah, but if
it's able to come in clean. Yeah, if it's able to come in clean, it's really annoying.
Because technically I could run Nachi plus Sylveon as well. I could see that type of build, so I could actually bring him support.
I had Sylveon on the layout. I thought Sylveon was coming over Hawlucha. I thought that was going to be your mainline defense, and Wish seems so good here. And being able to yawn, because there's a lot of things that I needed to have not slept. And if I had to start switching around, I couldn't afford any health. So yawn was forcing me to move around too much. So I figured that having Sylveon with such a bulky special defense and being able to invest in just enough defense to get enough off, being able to just yawn my mons around and forcing me to switch gives me unnecessary chip that ruins my game plan in the end game, because I need to have Donphan healthy. I can't let Chi-Yu get too weakened, because then the cat gets to run away with the game. If Electros gets too chipped, then the whole set with Iron Treads gets a hell. So literally Sylveon was coming and then yawn, and I kept having to switch, and I kept losing health for no reason.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense a lot. Actually, I like that a lot. And Sylveon was definitely something I had like when in the bulkier version of the draft, right? Like, obviously this is a more offensive team I ended up bringing, but initially I did have like Palafin, Tauros, like Meowscarada, Ivory, and then my Sylveon was definitely something that I was thinking about being. And I was just like, sometimes I go into a mock not even like thinking about the thing. I just want to see what Pokemon work first before I start breaking down and what can go from there. So Sylveon was definitely on there as well, and I do like to run Yawn as well, because with hazards, obviously it always forces switches.
The set that I totally thought was terrified was going to come in this, like, put the scenario, like, think about this scenario. If it was Hyper Voice, Yawn, Baton Pass, and Protect and or like filler move, it gets to the point where now, like, if we get that 1v1 scenario with this Ape, this happened in our mocks, is that I lose all this health on Ape and I get a Spother down to its sash, and if you can get a Wish up and then bring a Spother back, then I just lost Ape for no reason, and now you get to do the same exact thing again. And then if you're moving me around and forcing me to switch, and then if I lose my assets like my Electros that end up losing all of its health, and you bring back Tauros, and then now I can't switch into basically anything else.
Raging Bull,
born down, and Raging Bull is able to just Will-O-Wisp stuff, and then I can't stop the Yawns and the Wishes. There's no real way for me to actually do that, because I needed the health. The only Pokemon on my team that I needed to be healthy was Donphan and or Chi-Yu, or else one of other 2 Excertmon here just runs in the game. So you can basically keep your entire team for healthy for free, especially Espathra. Like, if you wished up Espathra and then I have to do that scenario with you again and I don't have Ape,
Ape is not. Espathra could do it, especially because it's not just a scenario where I'm just that. It's also like I could be Roost as well with Calm Mind. It could be Calm Mind as well.
It was a Calm Mind, Stored Power set with like a Recovery Berry is what we first initially thought was going to be, but it's similar to what you brought, but a little bit more passive and more setting up variant, so that way it can keep doing it with those wishes later on down the matchup. I was like, oh my god, if this Sylveon comes, that's when I saw Hawlucha. I was like, okay, cool, this isn't going to happen. We can still establish the game plan, but it ended up being a bulky Lucha, so here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I think obviously like there was like 1 or 2 changes away from like something crazy happening too. Like, I don't know how much Psychic does to my. I think at -1 I still live Psychic on like very little HP when it comes to Tauros.
like I'd use subbed and then I had to close combat to break your sub and go from there. But obviously there's also the situation where he can where I could have body press too as well. Like I mean, you knew Raging Bull was always gonna come, right? But it was a toss up between close combat and like body press too, because technically bulk up Tauros with like Wisp can also wear down like Ape as well.
100%. Everything on my team is physical offensive except for Eel and the fish. So my 2 fish, everything else is physical offensive. So a Will-O-Wisp would be super detrimental. I will say that these Pokemon, the 3 bulls, well, just the 2, right? The Aqua and the Blaze, have really fallen under the radar at the very beginning of the generation. Everyone was like, these Pokemon are not that great. But if you break these Pokemon down, like the Fire Bull and the Water Bull, so good. Such good mons. The Fire Bull more so is very like versatile. Like I saw your matchup against, was it Nexus?
It was Nexus. Yeah,
Bandit. It does so much damage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. And then it can turn around and come back and be spit def and super bulky and just burn things. Such a good mon.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with my team too. I was adamant in that, and I've been saying it, but like my team is really fast and then really slow, right? There's no mid tier. There's no tier between max speed Sylveon and Bull, right? There's nothing between there. So you guys can, like you see it right here, right? You can afford to run slower Pokemon with more bulk, which is fine, but it also works in my favor because I don't have to run max speed on my mons. I can run Adamants, I can run Modest, and even if you come and hit me, that just means you have less attack. So if I bring a bulkier version of the team,
like depending on who you ask, like it's really important and some not. In your case, I definitely get your thought process. Like in the video, like when you watch my video, it's 100. I literally said because there was a moment where Chi-Yu was in front of the bull, and I thought to myself, like I literally didn't even bother to try to speed tie it, and I was like, I can run Modest and run a little bit less speed, and I can just switch. And at this point, I just want to get damage every single time. 100%. So I was like, I'm gonna get 100% outsped. I'm gonna die to 1 hit, 1 close combat. I'm dead, so I'm out. So I just knew that.
Why risk the tie? Yeah, exactly. Unless that's your only check to it, right? So like in my cases, look at my team. Because my Chi-Yu check is Tauros, it needs to at worst speed tie, right? Because my checks to the dog are Meowscarada and Lucha, they need to be faster. But the rest don't really matter, right? My Iron Tread should be faster than Chi-Yu because I should be able to hit, especially if I get a booster energy boost, and you could be Scarf, I should be able to hit it. But I don't have to make, like, Palafin doesn't have to be faster than a max speed ape because if you're max speed ape, you're not going to take hits from the rest of my team.
Yeah, this is a good diagnosis for those who have those opinions on speed tiers. Like if you look at Joey's team, like I thought the same as that thing in prep. Like if you look at his team, you have your speed gaps go from Paldean Tauros to Sylveon.
Literally.
And that big old gap. But if you really like look at the team and if you think about the matchup and building and prep, like when does Sylveon, Dragology, or Knucklestack ever run speed?
Yeah.
Ever. There's no really need for ever really. It's not. You're not investing in it anyway. You're not speeding anything, so might as well just
so you can run bulkier variants. And I can take advantage of it because I can run Adamant Natures on my Pokemon too, as long as it doesn't lose me the game, right? Like in that one game I played versus Nexus, my Tauros wasn't meant to deal with a Jolly Zangoose or like things like that. It was meant to 2-KO Alomola and break screens. That's its role in the game. I had other answers to Zangoose, like I had like an Iron Treads and a few other things to a Chople. So like, yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it when it comes to going for teams.
I will say one of the last points that you know what Mon was like, I was probably top 3 most terrified about. My team is very. I love my team so much. Probably my favorite team I've ever drafted. It's very very setup variant along with hazards. So when my team has 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon that really love to just set up move, Ditto was so incredibly terrifying. Like I told Pookie, I was like, listen, if this Ditto comes, I kind of just lose. Like I don't know how to.
It's interesting too, because if I copy Chi-Yu and you're at like 40% or 30%, and I click Fire Blast back and I actually land, like I smash. Like
where's my Chi-Yu switching? I don't have a Chi-Yu switching. I really truly don't.
No, Ditto's definitely, and that's why I like Ditto in prep. Ditto, Dugtrio, Gothitelle. They all are the type of mons that you always have. They force prep.
Think about for that split second, and then it changes the entire match.
You run a Shed Tail. That's a worse item on your Pokemon. That's not a resist berry. That's not recovery. Yeah, and I mean you have to respect it. You have to respect it. And that, I mean I do as well. Like I guess that's the reason why you didn't bring Haxorus. I also saw like a banded Haxorus in testing too, which was cool. It did a lot of damage to my Pokemon, but like between Rocky Helmet, like I knew what I was supposed to do, right? Lucho, Palafin was supposed to clean up. Lucha was supposed to clean up. Potentially Iron Treads could too in some scenarios. So that was kind of like how the end game always had to go for me. And obviously the Endeavor actually pulling off on Quillfish was amazing.
because then you died to spike, and if you got up, that's why, like I said, I always go iron treads because if you get up a spike, I rapid spin. Like it doesn't matter.
I will say the one honorable mention that I had on this matchup is that I was kind of wanting to ride the momentum. Like if you look at your team and if it gets chipped to like 70% or more, Bear Scuda actually kind of rips you again.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very
so like
very fair.
I was really like looking at the matchup. I was like thinking to myself like a water move, liquidation, and/or waterfall, plus like psychic things in close combat. Really
Hella strong. Hella strong.
And because that speeds your entire team. If I just click close combat on Meowscarada, it drops if it's still a dark type. If I can get it off on the psychic things on the bull, even after an intimidate, it can still drop it depending. So like I was thinking about it, but then that jet punch just does too much damage.
It does like 60% to Bear
Such a monster.
I think it kills with spike and -1. I think it almost kills. Yeah, if I'm banded, it kills with spike and -1.
If you're because I totally thought you were banded. So if you have, like I literally can get one kill, then I have to switch, and then what takes the jet punch? It's just that mon is so gross.
Yeah, it's a good mon. I kind of wish it was my Terra Captain, but only in like free Terra. Like if it was free Terra with my Terra Captain, hell yeah. But I like Espathra because I mean, being fighting, it forces certain prep. I do wish we had free Terra in this. I'll be completely honest. On a research Terra Captain, but just costs more points, like a lot more points.
Listen, Joey. Yeah, welcome back to Draft League. We know that you're an incredible mind in the Draft League community, just a battler in general. But free Terra would be obnoxious.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Like imagine my Espathra Terra normal versus, you know, the Hounds. It wouldn't be. It sucked for other people, but I mean, I'm the one who picked up a cheap Espathra, so I drafted this thing. All right, I deserve the free. Bro, Terra Steel and clicking Flash Cannon versus something, or Terra Water and Energy Balling, which is not stab, but you know what I mean, like.
And also, guys, BBR is my league, right? So I'm the commissioner of the league. I will say bravo to Joey for reading the fine print and finding a loophole. My man's
I do that every season.
Hey, I was like, all right, cool. Everything is set. Last season went great. We wrinkled out all the kinks. We're gonna have a fantastic season. And then Joey's like,
I changed my Terra type 3 times.
Can I change my Terra Captain every transaction? And I looked at the rest of the guys. I was like, I mean, he is not against. I was like, well, shit. Here we go.
Technically in the rules. I mean, I did the same thing in One Thing versus Wolf. I traded my entire team to get her because in the WWE we had trade backs. So I traded my team just to get Zero Ore. Didn't even bring Zero Ore to the game, but just wanted it didn't actually come out in the game. But it had the mindset of Zero Ore, so he lost. He didn't bring Torn T, and then he lost to or Wheezing, and then he lost to Breloom type of thing. So I mean, if it's there, I'm not cheating. Right? Not at all. I will never cheat. It's just if it's legal, I'm going to use my mind to do it.
100%, guys. Understand that this is not against the rules. It's just very clever, and no one would have ever thought of it. Like he's such a business-minded and smart guy that I was looking at the guys. I was like, dang, he actually can. And now a spot there can run this on this matchup, and then he went right back to the original.
Yeah. I mean, I had to go. Yeah, so like the team, I'm the only person who not the only person, but I didn't change anything on my team, right? So like at least prior to draft starting, obviously before I traded Golden Go for Iron Treads and whatever. Meowscarada was Salamence. Salamence I was just holding for Mephisto anyway. But I got the draft I wanted, right? The only thing I quote unquote think could have been better, maybe Dunsparce over Nachi, but I'm sure Nachi will have its time.
It'll have its time to shine.
I'm the type of guy who brings every Pokemon at least once, right?
Yeah.
I used a Alolan Persian in one game and then traded it away that same week. But I had to use it. But so I mean, obviously I used it early because Owen OG Albino was one of my probably scariest matchups. So like, Terra Ghost saves so much time on this, and then after that I just go back to fighting because fighting is just good. So I technically only changed it 1 week. That mattered, but I mean it helped too. It helped me get the early win, which definitely mattered. Because I think
it's about the format, the counter team format, is being able to have it, and then your opponent just is forced to prep for it. That's the biggest thing. It's a big mind game. 80% of Draft League is just all mental. Did you prepare right? Did you prepare for the right thing you think he brought or what he's going to bring? And then vice versa. Just making sure you respect every matchup. Yeah. You did a really good job drafting for sure.
No, I appreciate it. Shout out to Tone as well for all the help. And I kept telling him, I want Palafin. This is it. I don't care about anything else. like that's like,
yeah. I will say in drafting, you passed up on Chen Pao, and I was like, wow. I mean,
screw Chen Pao, man. Great. Yeah, screw that, bro. I want my broken priority move.
Hey, Ice Shard be doing damage. I don't know what you want.
I don't know, man. I that just forces like, bro. Like look at this week. I brought 28 speed on Palafin. That's just like
not anything, right? If I had to bring Chiempao, like I could bring max HP on that boy and it's still dying to Mach Punch.
It's super thrill. Flick it across the room and
yeah, literally. Like Palafin though, this is slacking. This is slacking unbound. Dude is bulky all around.
Better.
Yeah, it is. It is
better.
Yeah, it literally is. It literally is. But yeah, I'm appreciating the love back to Draft League. I mean, my goal this season is to get everybody in the Draft League to at least 1,000 subs. So if everybody's watching, by the way, D.Rey recently hit 1,000 subs. Dow hit 1,000 subs. John Jr. hit 1,000 subs. We got to get everybody. So sub to everybody. I have everybody's link down below. Get everybody to 1,000 subs. Obviously, check out D.Rey's side of the battle as well. Because, that's I'm back in. I only left Draft League because I couldn't play a real battle, right?
Shout out to them timers.
Yeah, but then they finally listened after 3-4 years. They finally listened to me. And I know for a fact they listened to me because they could have done this last gen. But they're like, no, we're gonna wait. We're gonna make you suffer a little
just
bit more.
So you can sit down and think about it. Yeah, let's just marinate on your thoughts. You're gonna get out of line. We'll make you wait for one more gen.
And they're like, all right, Joey. Joey, you've been playing too much Showdown. It's time. The CEOs at Pokemon want to watch you on Wi-Fi games. Like, okay, I got you, Masuda. I got you. So
yeah, the biggest gem I see from you guys coming back is being able to see you guys get so ecstatic to see them in HD, and it's cool to finally get you guys off those like 2D mons and back onto like some real fun stuff where we can see you guys actually really thrive. It's been really awesome for the community. We appreciate every single person that's been supporting, not just the BBR, just the community in general. To see it light up like this, I've been in Draft League for not too long, maybe 3 years or so, and I've came in after watching these guys in Gen 7 to be able to have these faces back in and have the community thrive in this way. It's just, I know that Joey's doing this and he's really on this mission to get us up, but honestly, I'm here for the community. The community hasn't looked this awesome in years. So shout out to every single person that supports Joey in his streams, in his videos, and everyone in this league. It's cool to see where we're gonna go in the coming months, and it's gonna be an absolute blast. And we appreciate you guys' support.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the kind words. But guys, it's basically a podcast of an interview because we are almost double the time of the battle. So I hope everybody enjoyed. Please check out D.Rey. And I think now I just qualify for playoffs, right? Because 4 wins is playoffs. If I'm not mistaken.
4 wins is basically playoffs, yeah. Unless something catastrophic happens, knock on wood, to get 6-0 next week.
We'll see, I think I need to get 6-0 twice in a row to get out of playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Check out D.Rey. Thank you so much for being on, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.